and welcome to my DIY channel. My name is Annalie and let's get right into today's video. So getting started with this first project, I went ahead and I took some of this 1x2 sized wood. I got it sanded down and then cut down to size. I also took a piece of this 1x4 inch size wood, and I didn't want to use the entire piece, so I ended up cutting just a little bit off of the bottom. Using one of my favorite tools in the entire world, I think in one of my last videos you guys saw me use this little silver square. It is called a square even though it's in the shape of a triangle. My husband got me an even bigger one for some bigger projects, and so now I have two different sizes. It is seriously my favorite tool in this entire industry. I use this for everything, you guys. It is amazing. Once I had everything cut and sanded, I went ahead and I measured some more, and I made just a few more cuts. Here I am just getting everything placed and ready to go, and don't worry, I definitely did not leave that sticker on the back of that piece of wood right there. First, you can see this little galvanized plate. I wanted to use this for my project, and at first I was going to put it in the middle of my wood, which was really silly because it kind of looked terrible. So I ended up moving it down and rearranging my pieces of wood, and I ended up liking it so much better. Then I went ahead and I took each of my smaller pieces that I had already cut, and I cut some 45-degree angles. Then taking one of these planters that I got from the Dollar Tree, I didn't like the color. I wanted it to be a little bit more gray to match the things that I have inside. So I went ahead and I got this spray painted so that this could be drying while I finished the rest of my wood project. Once that was done, then it was time to assemble my project. Right here I'm using my husband's staple gun to assemble all of this together. And once I had it all done, I went ahead and I started to stain it in one of my favorite colors of stain. And you guys, I may have mentioned this before, but this color of stain is called Jacobean, and a viewer actually taught me how to say it because when I first got this stain, I was literally calling it Jacobine, but it's pronounced Jacobean. So thank you so much to my viewers who always keep me on my toes to make sure that I'm saying things correctly. Then once everything was stained, I went ahead and I used this decal that I cut from my silhouette. I just got this off at the Silhouette Design store, and I went ahead and I went to put this on this little galvanized piece of metal. And I forgot to mention, I got this piece of metal from another project that I did. It came from the Dollar Tree. It was on a little sign, and I just took it apart and set the metal aside and saved it for this project, which I thought it ended up turning out perfect for. When I went to put the decal on, the metal was very hot, so once I put it down. It was stuck for a second. I was going to try to remove it and recenter it, but it was stuck. It was ready to go. The project that this galvanized piece of metal came with had these little brads that were holding it to a little wooden plaque, so I saved the brads and I went ahead and using my trusty little wrench as a hammer, I went ahead and I hammered those into place. This is going to be a plant hanger. Once that was done, I went ahead and I took some of this lighter, softer rope from the Dollar Tree. I do believe it's still nautical rope, but it's the lighter and whiter and softer kind. And I went ahead and I unassembled each of the 3 strings because it comes wrapped in a string like a rope of 3. And I went ahead and I pulled out each one of those strings. And then I measured them into 3 equal pieces, wrapped it around the top, and you can see that I tied a knot, and then I pulled it down to the bottom, and I just started doing some macrame knots where I tied some knots at the top and then I kind of pulled them around and tied them until I could get it all tied around the bottom, and that's what held the planter in place. Then using one of these little sawtooth hangers, I screwed that onto the back, and then I took some greenery that I got from Walmart, put it in my plant with some foam, and here it is, all completed. I absolutely love this project. I think it turned out so good. video is part of a collaboration with Heidi Sonboul over on her channel, Heidi Sonboul DIY. This is a part of a series that she is doing for the summer. It is her Summer DIY Daily series where she is teaming up with a different YouTuber every day for the months of June and July. This is an amazing opportunity and I'm so grateful that I have the opportunity to participate in this collaboration. After this video, please be sure that you check out Heidi's link down below. I will have her channel link down there. Make sure that you go over and check her out because she's amazing and you do not want to miss what she makes and you don't want to miss her collaborations because she's working with some amazing women and you guys will get so much inspiration. Now we'll get back to the video. Okay, so for this second project, I ended up using 9 of these canvases that you can get from the Dollar Tree. These are in the smaller size. I believe oh my gosh, I don't even know what size these are. They're in the smaller size, the size that's exactly smaller than the 8x10 size. I ended up getting these 2 little wooden arrows from the Dollar Tree as well. So then I ended up taking off all of the canvas from each one of these, and like I said, there are 9 of them. So I took them apart and I set this canvas aside and then I saved the wood because we are going to be making a window with a planter. Going back to these little wooden arrows that I got from the Dollar Tree, I wanted to just use the long parts, so I ended up cutting this arrow part off. You can see this is where I will be cutting it off, and I cut both of those off on each pieces of the arrows. Do not throw those away. I set those aside because I use them later on in the project. I also wanted them to stain very pretty, and so I ended up just running my sander over them real quickly because I think that it just absorbs the stain and looks so much better when you stain these. And then it was time to assemble all of my pieces of wood into the window form that I was going for. This is going to be my bottom part that's going to hold my planter, and I went ahead and I hot glued it together first just so that I could have it lined up and stay in the place that I wanted it to. And then it was time to staple it together, and you guys, I completely forgot to put my piece of cardboard underneath as I went to staple this. So here you can see that I actually stapled this right to the table. Fortunately, it wasn't too deep and I was able to just pop that right off, but my staples were sticking out the other side, and so I wasn't able to hammer them down. I used a third piece of the triangle that I had cut off of the arrows earlier, and I went ahead and I glued that right in the middle on the inside because you won't be seeing that, just to give that a little bit of extra support, and then I used my staple gun to hold that in place, and that worked because it was just thick enough. And then I went ahead and I used hot glue first to line up each one of these wood pieces for my window because I wanted them to stay in place to staple them. And then I went ahead and stapled them all together on the one side. Using again my favorite color of stain, Jacobian, I went ahead and I got all of these stained, and then using some of my fishing wire, you guys, I'm pretty sure I say that every time I talk about chicken wire in my projects. I'm pretty sure I call it fishing wire before I call it chicken wire. It's actually chicken wire, as you guys can see, but I went ahead and I stapled some chicken wire to the back of my window project. Well, I have the privilege today of teaming up with Heidi Sonboul over on her channel for one of her daily summer DIY series with her videos, and she sent me a message, and when I read the email from her, I must have been unconscious or something because she said she was ready to move on into some summer coastal DIYs, and when I read that as either summer or coastal, and so I just did some summer DIYs because I don't have very much coastal in my home. I think it's absolutely beautiful, but I'm just not as familiar with it, and so I do want to apologize for this being more of a summer DIY project than a summer coastal DIY, but I still loved it and I had so much fun, and I'm so grateful for Heidi for including me in this collaboration with her. Then it was time to assemble my little planter piece down here on the bottom. I wanted this to come out so that it looked like a little planter box was in front of a window. And yes, you can see that there's a few spots of stain that I missed. I did miss them, but I went back and got them, I promise. So I went ahead and I glued and stapled, which was very, very tricky. I ended up using some E6000 glue to help glue this bottom part of my planter on, and you can see that I saved those triangular pieces for the sides so that it would hold my little planter box out at about, I would say, a 30 to 35 degree angle. Once I was done with that, this is where I kind of wanted to give it a little bit of some beachiness. I wanted it to kind of look a little less farmhouse stained and a little bit more of some beachy look, because maybe this could be a beachy cottage window, maybe. There's cottages on beaches, right? Somewhere there's cottages on beaches. So I went ahead and I took some Waverly White chalk paint and I just used that to distress this. And then I took some foam and I glued it down into the bottom so that I could put some greenery down into my window. I got this greenery. One bundle is from Walmart, the mixed berry is from Walmart, and then the other is from Hobby Lobby during one of their 50% off sale for their floral. It's the only way I will buy their floral, is at 50% off. And then I went ahead and I just assembled my floral into my planter window just how I liked it, and then it was time to hang it up. Here it is, all ready to go and hang up on the wall. So here it is, 2 ways you guys can just put it up just like this as a window. But I also had a green wreath that I thought would look really pretty to hang onto it as well. So I ended up putting a wreath on there just to see what that looked like, and I ended up loving how it turned out. So like I said, not very coastal, but very summery, and it was so much fun to make these projects, and I absolutely love them in my home. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was so much fun to do, and I ended up loving how these projects turned out. Thank you again to Heidi for hosting this collaboration. If you guys are coming over from Heidi's channel, welcome. My name is Annalie. This is my DIY channel, and I upload at least once a week with a new DIY project. I love to do projects on a budget, I love to do dupes, and I love to do Pinterest inspired projects. So if you guys would like to, please join my family, come along with me. I know you guys will have a good time. If you guys are heading over to Heidi, please be sure to tell her that I said hello. Thank you guys for being such amazing supporters. Be sure to check out Heidi's link down below. Please give this video a thumbs up, consider subscribing if you guys would like to, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys. Into today's video. I am participating today, a daily, did I say it was? A daily what? Where she is, oh gosh, daily summer DIY daily. And what the series, I would love it if you join the family. I gotta figure my life out. I need some water, my voice is cracking. Take 12, incredible DIYs, and she will consider subscribing. I already said that, that's great, I already said that. But if you'd like to, consider subscribing. Thanks again so much for watching, for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you guys next time, bye guys.